put that on. Well, since it's on. Hey, and welcome to the Trash Show, episode number 2. I am your host, Travis Ashley, and seeing how the webcam's on, I thought I'd do an episode of the Trash Show. First of all, I'd like to talk about my memory. Not a very good memory, but I thought I would start doing something a little different. As opposed to trying to think of what to say, I would go ahead and write it down, because it's the only way I'm going to remember what I want to say. So, first on my list is I want to do a correction on being the biggest Leafs fan. A friend of mine at work came to me yesterday and said, so, you're the biggest Leafs fan in the world? I said, yeah, I consider myself one of the biggest Leafs fans in the world. And she said, well, do you know such and such? Now, I don't know who this person was because they played hockey before I was born. So, I wanted to clarify something up. And I want everybody to understand that, yes, I am one of the biggest Leafs fans in the world. See that? But I'm a biggest Leafs fan since like the 90s on, because if you ask me questions of what happened before like 92, I'm probably not going to remember or even know anything about it. But when I say I'm the biggest Leafs fan, I like to think of current events, because I like to know what's going on with the current Leafs, and I can pretty much tell you anything that's going on with the current Leafs. But yeah, I still consider myself one of the biggest Leafs fans. And yes, Rhonda, you did stump me on that one, but that is how it is, and I'm a biggest Leafs fan from like the 90s on. The reason why I say that is because I always haven't been a Leafs fan. Before I was a Leafs fan, I was a Philadelphia Flyers fan. Now, I know there's a lot of people, a lot of my friends are saying, no way, Travis, there's no way. You've always been a big Leafs fan as far as I know and can remember. Well, it's true. I've always had a spot for the Leafs, but before the Leafs, it was the Philadelphia Flyers, and the reason behind that was Ron Hextall. He was my favorite player in the NHL. At the time, I loved goalies, and he was the goalie I loved. He was good at nets. He was feisty. Just ask Chris Chelios, because he can tell you. So yeah, the Flyers were my favorite team before the Leafs. But now I'm solely the Leafs, but I still like the Flyers. Yeah, I still like the Flyers too. They're my favorite American team, has that. Next on my list is root canal. Now, the reason why I have root canal on this is because tomorrow I am going for a consultation for a root canal. Now, I've had a root canal before. Not fun. In fact, it's probably the worst pain I've ever gone through in my life. Other than when I was in grade 8, I was doing backflips on a trampoline, and I didn't quite make one of the backflips, and I jumped and landed straight in my head. Now, I don't know if you can see the scar there on the top of my head, but trust me, there's one there, and it took 18 stitches to close that cut, I'll call it, of a gouge. The doctor could see the top of my skull. The nurse almost passed out from seeing all the blood. Very interesting. Anyway, yeah, so root canal. But it was probably, it's painful, because when I had my first root canal, I just wanted to scream. And the funniest thing was, 2 days later, they did root canal on one of my teeth, and they didn't finish. So I had to go back. But the funniest thing was, 2 days later, half of that tooth literally broke off and fell out. And I'm thinking, hallelujah, I don't have to go back because, well, there's only half a tooth there. Pull the rest of the tooth out and be done with it. Not the case. They had to still finish the root canal, and it hurt even worse. So, yeah, I have to go for that tomorrow. I have nothing else on my list for tonight. I just wanted to mention that it's quite lonely around here right now. Kate, that lived next door, has moved out, and Tanya, who lived next door on the other side of the duplex of me, has moved out. And like I said in my first episode, my brother's moving in. Can't wait till he does. But yeah, it's quite quiet around here right now. Lonely, I guess you could say. There's nobody around, just me, my wife, and Noah. So hopefully soon my brother will be moving in, so there's some action around. So that's probably the end of this episode. Like I said, from now on I'm going to write down what I want to talk about, because where I'm doing this live on Edit, I'm not going to remember everything I want to write down. So that's how I'm going to do it from now on. So if you want to watch this show, it will be on Facebook.com and YouTube.com. Please don't hesitate to make a comment. Tell me if you like the show, hate the show, because I really want to know. Feedback is very important to me. So far I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, so I'm enjoying that. So yeah, that's it for the show. And until the next show, everybody take care. Like I said, Facebook.com, YouTube.com. Leave your comments, because I really want to know. Great, thank you, and have a great night.